thank to the grace of heaven, virtues of the masters, compassion of the grand predecessor, and all transmitters, lecturers, and everyone here to giving me the opportunity to learn to speak on today's class of Lu Dongbing and his scripture and prescriptions. Some of you might remember this, but I edited a little bit, and hopefully it is better. Okay, so let's see. Step down arrow. Okay, so Lu Dongbing, his name actually means the guest of the cavern of, he's also called as a Lu Chunyang. Chunyang meaning the pure yang, right? So the yin and yang thing. So he's pure, right? The Buddhas and saints has pure, so he's one of them. And the guest of the cavern, he actually gave himself that name because he wanted to remind himself that this is only a temporary home. So he called it cave, right? So he's living in the cave temporarily because it's not his permanent home. Okay, and he's one of the member of the 8 immortals, 八仙. Right? Okay. And his original name is called Lu Yan, a different way of writing it. That's his birth name, Lu Yan. And he's also known as a secondary announcer at the temple. If you face the temple, he's on the left side. I'm sorry, this way. Left. Okay.
There are 4 guardians.
Yeah, so there are 4 of them. Do we know who are the 4? I have it in my notes, but I can't see.
That's Yu Zhu Si, right? So we have Guan, Zhang Fei, and Yue Fei.
Warrior.
So it's
They're all
Lu
generals. They're all, yeah, except for him. Yeah, he's a scholar. Yeah. Well, is he a scholar?
Oh, here. So there's Guansheng Dijun, Zhang Fei, Lu Dongbing, Yue Fei.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the 4. All right, so let's go back to the slides. Oh, okay. He's also known as a celestial being, a scholar, poet, alchemist, a devil slayer, and healer. Yeah, that's why he. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So. He is generally thought to have lived from the end of Tang Dynasty. That's from 618 to 906 CE through the 5 dynasties, which is from 907 to 960 CE, and into the early part of the Song, which is from 960 to 1279 CE. Some say he was born in Jinzhou, which today is called Yonglexian, Hezongfu, Shanxi province. Okay, his grandfather, let me see what's, okay, I'm still on this slide. His grandfather, Liu Wei, has been head of the Ministry of Rites, and his father, Liu Yi, had been the provincial governor of Haizhou, Jiangsu province. Naturally, his ambition was to become an official like them. Right? Okay, so here, he's depicted in art as a scholarly gentleman, and he often holds a sword that is understood to dispel evil. Right. So Lu Dongbing was said to be an incarnation of Donghua Zhenren. Long ago, when Donghua Zhenren was faring Hanzong Li Quan, he said to him that one day he would look for him to be his teacher. This is very interesting. Around the Tang Dynasty, Hanzhong Liquan became immortal earlier than him and became his teacher. Since then, they have this teacher and disciple relationship. That's why there's a picture of Hanzhong Liquan. Like all bodhisattvas and Buddhas, he too made a great vow that he wanted to ferry all sentient beings before going back to the heaven. This is also a spirit of Lao Tzu, who said, often help others and never give up on anyone. These are famous legends that you can, like Google and search about him. Like the white crane from heaven. This is when he was about to be born. There's a white crane showed up, and usually this means it's a presage that he's going to be special, right? And the next one, the golden mallet dream. That's when he met the Hanzhong Liquan, right? He was making the mallet soup, or you call it the rice wine, or the congee, and he had this dream. He fell asleep. Actually, he went to visit him, and he fell asleep next to the fire, and then he dreamed about how he later got selected as an official, and then he has, promoted to the position of a vice minister, and then he married and has a daughter, and a prosperous household, and I just mentioned had children, right? And then he got promoted again as a prime minister. However, his success and luck attracted the jealousy of others, causing him to be falsely accused of crimes. So he had this dream, right? And then he woke up when he was struggling. He dreamed about himself and struggling in the snow. And then his companion, which is Hanzhong, right? He smiled at him. It's like, you have lived 50 years in less time than it took your mallet to cook. So what happened was that he wanted to be like his father and grandfather, and I believe he failed at least three times. He didn't make it to the official position that he wanted to have. So he's always like very disappointed, and he'll try again and try again, try again. Yeah, but this dream kind of woke him up, Okay. So that's one of the stories, right? So the next one, I thought it's kind of interesting to talk about. It's called the 10 tests. In the old days, right? You can't just receive Tao, and it's also usually passed on one to one or one-on-one, and you have to be doing a lot of good deeds and merits to prove yourself to get that, to receive the Tao. So again, we're very lucky these days. Okay, so the 10 test is it's from Hanzhong Liquan. He wanted to make sure that he truly wanted to follow him, and he gave him the 10 tests. So the first test was that when he returned home to find that all his family was suddenly taken sick and died, unfazed, he buried them all. Then suddenly, they all came back to life. He didn't think it was a bit odd, so he passed the first test. That's what I read. The second one, on the second occasion, okay, he went out to sell supplies. When the price has been agreed upon, the buyer suddenly reneged. go back, doesn't keep his promise, and pay him only half the agreed price, but he didn't particularly care. Like, okay, I'll just pay you. The third occasion, as he went out early in the new year, a beggar asked him money. He gave it to him, but rather than thanking him, the beggar scolded and railed at him. He merely laughed and apologized. The fourth occasion, he was pasturing sheep in the mountains when a hungry tiger leaped forth. He used his body to protect the sheep. Okay, how many of you would do that to protect the sheep? Then the tiger left. On the fifth occasion, he was sitting in a room reading, and a beautiful woman appeared at the window and asked for direction. It was windy and heavily rained. He offered her to stay for the night. The woman started to flirt with him. He ignored her. How many can you do that?
That's rude.
She appeared again.
That's a bad host.
Oh, this is the these are tests. So she appeared again.
Probably fail.
Again for 3 days, guys. 3 days. Can you hold that? But he always ignored her. She left him with disappointment. On the sixth occasion, all right, he returned home and found all the possessions he had taken by thieves, even down on the food in the larder. He went out to tend his field, and suddenly in the field turned up a whole bunch of gold, but he merely covered it over. It's not mine. I don't take it. How many of you can do that? That's mine. Let's take it home. Don't tell nobody. On this, yeah. So on the seventh occasion, he encountered a seller of bronze and brass, and brought a small utensil. On returning home, he discovered it was actually made of gold. He rushed out to find the seller and return it to him. Would you do that? No, it's mine. On the eighth occasion, a Taoist priest went to his house, and was selling herbal medicine. He was also asking for donation. In his mind, he would donate to the best ability to anyone who needs help, even to the person who is pretending. He gave the money to the priest, but was scolded by him. He patiently talked to him and didn't get angry with this man. On the ninth occasion, the river flooded, and he was riding in a small boat with others. As they reached the middle of the river, the water became especially dangerous, and everyone was frightened, but he was unconcerned. So he calmed himself down, right? The last occasion, he was sitting in his room peacefully reading when every sort of demons and monsters came from the far corners to slay him, but he was not frightened in the least. When he had completed the 10th test, the monster vanished, and a great laugh was heard from heavenly above. It was Han Zhongli Quan suddenly descended and congratulated him. I set you 10 temptations, and you were unmoved by any of them. You will surely attain the way and become a very great. Here says Taoist. We know it's Tao, right? Okay, so the next famous legend is transmuting rock to become gold. So on this one, it's a conversation between him and his teacher, which is Han Zhongli Quan in this case. So he asked, okay. All right, so here. Over the year, Han Zhongli Quan instructed Yu Dongbing in the way of magical and spiritual praxis. However, the elder Immortal refused to teach his pupil, the art of eternal life until he performed at least 3,000 merits and virtue and 800 good deeds. So to test him, right, he offered to teach him the secrets of alchemy, right? I blocked my own writing here. Specifically, the means of transmuting baser metal, it's a stone, into gold. So in response, he asked, after the stone have been turned into gold, will they remain gold forever? So, Chen replied, okay.
全中理。
Right, 宗理权, yeah, Han 宗理权, yeah, there's a Han. That's where he came from. Yeah, the Han Dynasty, right? It's from Han Dynasty. So 宗理权.
中理权。
So he said, no, the gold nugget will never back to stone after 500 years. Then Yu Dongbing said, I would rather not learn a technique that could potentially dilute and harm people. Dilute, right?
Fool people.
Right. Fool people, right. Thank you. And then Han Zhongli Quan said, your understanding of Tao surpasses the 3,000 merits and virtues and 800 good deeds. So that was the story.
So basically magic. He's learning magic.
Yeah,
Harry Potter?
alchemist, right?
Yeah, alchemist.
Okay. So, let's move on to the next one. Now, in his lifetime, he also encountered He Xiangu. That's another 8 immortals, and she is the only female in the 8, right? So, I wanted to like skip this because I have something I want to say more at the end. Okay, so that's just another legend that that happened. So here, Yu Dongbing himself, he has many appointed titles by different emperors. Like, you know, this one is from the Northern Song Dynasty emperor. He was called Miao Dao Xianren, marvelous Tao spiritual master. And then from the first Yuan Dynasty emperor, he was named Chunyang Yin Zhenjing Hua Zhenjun, pure young police transform master. I'm not very sure about the translation, but this is just word by word. Okay. And the picture that you see here, these are the emperor that who gave those
That's
names.
Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Yuan dynasty.
Yeah, this is from the first one.
That's what it is.
Yeah, well,
They all look similar to me.
He's wearing earrings.
Yeah. This one is from the third Yuan Dynasty emperor, and he was given a name called Fuyou Dijun. Okay. And this was another one from the Yuhuang Dadi, and he was called Da Luo Tianxian. And this is also given by Yuhuang Dadi. He has another name, Ming Di Qiu Tianjin. Kan, is it called Kan Neishang? I don't know. I don't really know what they mean. It's the words, but it's a really long names. Okay, so here, this is he carries a sword, we know, right? And it's to repel evil. And he also carries a fly whisk, and it's a common symbol for an individual with the power of flight. So when I know this one time that he came, right, to our temple. So before he came, I'm pretty sure people need to look for their tools and stuff. Does anybody remember What?
Stage property.
Yeah, it's called a property, a stage property. So I think I'm not sure if we have the store here, but I think we have the whisk, right? So that's for him. All right. Okay. So,
It's
Okay.
too dangerous.
yeah. All right. Time's running out. So this is the poem scripture by Immortal when he came to Milabao, right? Okay, in 2015, May 17. Okay, yeah. So I wrote them here. I revisit them and I try and the best I can to translate this. So in the beginning, like right here, it says 善德深重，依循无为道中. The path or purpose of the Tao is to comply with no motive when non-stopping our cultivation in benevolence, compassion, and virtue. Does that make sense to you? And I'll go through it and then you can, tell me if I need to do any editing. The next line says, 一切言行皆合乎宗. All speech and behavior are all in line with the middle path or heavenly conscience. 天理能真懂良心善用. 天理能真懂良心善用. Okay. Truly understand the Tao principles and make good use of the heavenly conscience. 世间人我一道同风. The human beings of the secular world and I together we share the same goals heading to the oneness. 人世间有千万个路口，我也曾经彷徨无助停留. So this is the beginning of this part. Okay. The secular world has thousands of road intersections. I was once being indecisively, hastily, and helplessly remained somewhere temporarily. 但想起你痴痴的等候，我知道我必须停止泪流. But I thought about how you dazedly waited for me. I know I must stop tearing. 辛苦也要走到最后，因为前方有你为我加油. I must walk to the end, even life has been difficult, because I know you are cheering for me ahead. 一生执着追求也得放手，因为感恩才是真正富有. Must let go pursuing stubbornly to the material world, because of being thankful or grateful is the true wealth. 我不再回首，也不再忧愁，我要为理想努力并奋斗. I won't look back and won't be gloomy or depressed. I will work hard and overcome struggles to reach my goals. 你是我的良师，也是益友，我愿跟在你左右. You are my mentor, or good teacher, and a helpful friend. I'm willing to stay beside you. 只想永远跟你走，渐渐明白人生无法从头. I only wanted to be with you. Gradually, I understood that life can't be started all over again. 红尘如梦，唯有看透，才是真正的自由. Only seeing through the secular world is like a dream or illusion. You then would truly understand the meaning of the true freedom. 你的支持鼓励我能感受，今生今世别无所求. I can feel your willingness and sturdiness. I can never ask for anything else in this lifetime. This is the song. I translated as all I want is to be with you. It's really beautiful, but I don't think I have time to play it.
You do.
I do, but I have more I wanted to get to.
But
It's
still gonna do the bandap.
huh? So what time do I have until really?
You can't have an extra 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
How about I go through this and then we can come back, okay? Okay, so these are like, that's the map where he was. Yeah, the red, the pink. And here the picture again. He's always the one who carried the flags, and then also the sword. I mean whisk, not flask. Flask is somebody.
Flask is like the bottle.
Right.
No,
Right. Who carries that? Jigong Buddha?
Jigong Buddha carries one.
Yeah.
If you go back there, the guy on the
Oh yeah,
right.
look at this big
Yeah,
one.
that's a huge one.
You see.
铁拐.
铁拐.
Okay.
The board that he uses, for
Gourd,
using
huh?
medication. Yeah, because he does help heal.
That's a lot of medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here are some images of temples. That's right. Okay. In China, most of these. Okay. So this is. I call it Heart Prescriptions by Immortal because if you look at, okay, look at this. This is I couldn't finish translating everything, but this is, it's like, how do you cure not being filial, right? How do you cure not being respected to your brotherhood or something like that. So these are like medicines, and plus the Buddha did mention that we are. Who was it especially? Oh God, he's my favorite. I forgot his name. Oh my God. Okay, he did mention why he was sick in bed, because we are sick. Oh, Wei Mo Jie. Okay.
Oh, Vima la Kirti.
Yeah.
La Kirti.
All right.
Vima
So he in the beginning, he was he appeared to be sick in his bed, and then when Manjushri Buddha came by, because nobody wanted to go and visit him, he everyone.
Buddha, Sakyamuni Buddha asked man.
Yeah.
First ask his disciples.
Exactly.
Who want to go visit Vimalakirti because he's sick, to look after him, ask how he is. Everybody scared.
They find excuses for not going, and then when it's turned, ask the Manjushri Buddha, and then he was the one who was appointed to go there. So he asked Vimalakirti, why are you in bed? So he explained he's sick, and then he said, why are you sick? Because the sentient beings are sick.
Yeah.
All right, so I think these are I like to call it prescriptions. Okay, so yeah, and I found this book. I spent like almost 4 hours looking for the translation for each one of them, and still I couldn't finish because it's really not easy to do, because you want to make sure it really means what it means, right? And but I wanted to show this because it has beautiful Chinese writing. It's in the book. This is one of the sutra that's explained in this book, and this is by him, and it's also called Heart Sutra. But I think it's more like a heart prescription to the sentient beings.
So this is not an explanation to the Heart Sutra.
Not the Heart Sutra we know. This is a different Heart Sutra written by him. Exactly.
Human hearts.
Yes, for human hearts. And I counted there are a total of 36 different condition of hearts, according, to
Do you
to
need
him.
a second class to finish?
This
This
really.
is interesting.
So it is very interesting,
Yeah.
but seriously, I can't. I tried. I just couldn't. But what I did was I take the beginning and the end. I did the translation. Okay,
What
so
happened to the middle?
middle is the part that needs really a lot of time.
Do you want more to do the middle?
But I have a point for not doing that. Though.
Oh, okay.
But let me go on.
Yeah.
Okay, so the beginning, right? Okay, so the beginning. Here he says, right? So here, from 天生长万物，没有天，万物便不能生长。Now, in my translation it is a great Tao nurtures the living things. Without it, there is no growth of living things. Okay, and he went on, 为人最灵，非人能灵。Right? Okay, so 为人最灵, I believe it says only human beings are the most clever and spiritual among all living beings. 非人能灵, it's not the human body from form. Sorry, it is not the human body form is capable to be spiritual. And then 实心是灵, right? The spirituality is based on the true heart. 心为主宰. It is the true heart that dictate the body. 一生之君, it is the master of the body. 一时百鹤, I think it's he, right? Was it hai? Okay, 一时百亥, right? It means the bone. Okay, so I think it says the body listens to its master. Okay, it's supposed to. Right. You see, I'm doing a very general translation. It is the master who would handle all matters. Right? 物无其物. Oh, this is interesting. I recognize this one. The observation from the true heart is that the reflection on external things reveals their illusion existence. See, the 物无其物, 形无其形. Anybody know where they came from? Come on. It's very, I mean, I'm like, oh, that I noticed. Right, so it says 物无其物, 形无其形, right? So guess what I found out? From the Purity and Stillness Sutra.
清净经.
Yeah.
You don't remember? It's Encyclopedia.
Okay, so the two lines right here, right? Really, the beginning is 外观其形, 形无其形, and then 远观其物, 物无其物. So basically it says from outside, observe the body and see there's no body. That's just one way to translate. And then here, then observe other things by glancing afar and see there are no other things. Okay, so what does that lead us to? Okay, so this is another translation, right? So for the same thing, I think the meaning is exactly the same. Reflection on the outer forms reveals their illusory image. Reflection on external things reveals their illusory existence.
Yeah, that's 清净经.
Yeah. So I thought, oh, that's beautiful, because I noticed something. Okay, so I have to kind of fly through. Okay, so here. All right. So you see how I only did the first 4 lines, and again, this is like using what kind of heart to cure what kind of bad heart. A good heart cures bad heart, something like that. And maybe I have to come back. I did ask Transmitted Senior Jean to kind of tell me what these women, at least these two, what they mean, right? And because it's not something that you can just, I cannot just pick it up like that. That's why I will need more time. But here, the first this line of this, okay? 以老老心自不孝心. It really means the first 老, right? The old, right? It's referring to other elders. The second 老 means our own parents. So you respect other elders, you respect your own parents too, and that can cure your what's the opposite of filial?
Non-filial.
Non-filial. So that's how it is. And then here in 长长心, either 长长or 长长,
Zhang.
长长, right? Okay, right. So this is another elder, but this is referred to brotherhood.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first is other brotherhood or brothers, and then this is your own siblings, right? And if you respect other brothers, you will respect your own brothers.
Mhm.
Then this can take care of your
Brotherhood.
brotherhood, non-brotherhood.
No brotherhood.
So I thought, at least I got these down.
Your lack of
Fraternity.
Yeah.
Non-fraternity.
So it's
Non-fraternity.
it's a lot. It's more, but that's all I did so far. Because you see, there's. Oh yeah, I want to show you something too. See this one? Okay, see this one. If you look at it as a pattern, okay, 中理 wait 中性
孝悌忠信，
孝
Yeah.
悌
义廉耻的 eight 孝悌忠信礼义廉耻 the eight
The eight virtues.
virtues.
The
Yeah.
8 virtues. They're part of it too. But okay, I didn't do it.
See?
Okay, so, all right. So this is the end part. Okay, from Immortal, or at the time he's called. What is he called? He has a special name. Right, 福佑真君, 帝
Yeah,
君,
福佑帝君.
福佑
Yeah,
帝
that's
君.
another his titles. Yeah.
Right, so that when he wrote this, he was honored with that name.
Interesting.
Okay, so this one is the end after he finished writing it. Okay, the end of Heart Prescription Sutra, prescriptions. Here, Immortal Liu, who sighed. This is just sigh. Right? Uh-huh. Who sighed about the result of a human beings not able to be cured or overcome themselves with the prescriptions would not become pure and dustless. Dustless. There must be another way of saying this.
Say it again. Dust.
Yeah.
Oh.
纯嘛, the opposite of 不纯, right?
Impure.
Impure. Okay.
Without tampering.
Okay. So, example would be like
皆夫人心.
impure. So example would be like the silk thread, right? Would become in a hideous mess if one does not sort out the ends, right? Example would be like the mirror would not be clear and shiny if one does not wipe. Who made that poem, or we call it poem, about the mirror?
The six patriarchs.
There you go. That's also picked up in the
Six
the
patriarchs.
神秀, right?
神秀
神秀.
said it's a
But we
mirror.
know
Yeah.
that's not the enlightenment, right?
It is to sob.
Okay. Example like taming the wild horse, right? Oh, it's not here. Okay, here. Example taming the wild horse, right? I said this heart prescriptions can cure the heart of. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I jumped.
没办到，
Taming the wild horse.
是这样，都办到。
Okay, so after that, so he said, I said this heart prescription can cure the heart of sentient beings. Once the heart is cured, the world may at peace, then all human beings will be in tranquil, calm, and happy. Okay. So here, in conclusion, any scripture and sutra are tools for us to get to the harmonious, peaceful, and happy shore. Okay, in Buddhism, we are described as living in the bitter sea, or it's called 五浊恶世, right? In translation, is the evil world of the 5 turbidities. So I find that interesting, and then I went in and looked for it. So these are the 5. That's
Yeah, it's in the glossary list on your
oh, it is.
Buddha nature. Yeah, you guys should read it every day.
Okay.
Now we have to stop with the control now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 5 defilements to bring the.
I'm sorry, I couldn't finish this.
Yeah, please. View, passion, human condition, lifespan, and world age.
I have more. It's to probe further, and I think it's very important for everyone to know. But I'm sorry, I don't have time.
Maybe you want to
Extend.
finish, yeah, finish translating the whole
No, I
prescription. She doesn't
But
want to do it.
no, because because this is more important than that one.
Yeah.
Thank you for your attention. If I have said anything wrong or didn't cover the topic well, which I didn't, I ask God and all the saints and Buddhas for the forgiveness.